Hello everyone.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Let's have couple of
Good
minutes.
evening,
So
sir.
yeah, let's have couple of minutes. Let's wait to other time join. Abhishek, who is there from your group? I think
Oreza was going to present.
Ole Tariq. Okay. So he is not joined, right? Yet. Hello, Paul. How are you?
I have shared the wrong meeting
I'm
link, so
fine.
I'm just sending another one.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm fine, sir.
Good. Good to see you.
Thank you, sir.
So today we have two demo, assignment 2 and assignment 3. So assignment 2 will be presented by group 1 student, and assignment 3 will be presented by group 2, that is Paul team, right? So Paul, who is
Yes,
there
sir.
from your team?
Okay. Sam is there. Sam should be the one to
Oh,
present.
okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Sam is there.
Good
Okay.
evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Anjana.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Hmm, If all good, then we can start. Okay. From group 1. Ola is there. Ola, yesterday you took almost 2 hours, but
Yeah,
you
good
have
evening, everyone.
done excellent job. Yes, very impressive.
Thank you, sir.
Very impressive.
You took a lot of yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, good evening, everyone. To all viewers out there and my fellow dear Michael to learners, good evening to you all. So I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, thank you. So it's 4:34 p.m. here in Nigeria, West African time. So I'll be presenting today assignment 3 of week 10. So permit me to share my screen.
Assignment 2, right?
Assignment 2, yeah. Assignment 2 of week 10, sorry. So let me share my screen, please. And also, let me check. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
My screen visible?
Yeah, it is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. If you have network issue, you can turn off your cam. Hello.
Oh, thank you. Permit me to share my screen once more. Is my screen visible?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. So once again, I'll be presenting assignment 2 of week 10. I'll try as much as possible to stay within the scope of the assignment so we can move faster. Please let me know if you're not seeing anything. Is my screen still visible? Can you see my VS Code terminal?
Yeah, it is visible. Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Okay, so I will be creating a Terraform file for provisioning an EC2 instance on the AWS console. So I was working on this before, so I'll take this all over again. I will create another document so that we can start with that. Okay. So let me close this. Let me save it up. Let me close this. Then let me all over again.
Oledavi, you there?
I think his screen is frozen.
Might be the network issue.
Please ask them to turn off his camera.
Oledavi, you can keep your
Am I
camera
audible?
off. Yes, yes, we can hear you. You
Am I
can
audible?
talk. Yes. Hello.
Oh, it's the network issues again. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
No.
Or maybe I should just take off my video.
Yeah, you can turn off your video.
Okay. Can you see my terminal?
No.
Please share your screen. We are not. We cannot see you. Your screen.
Okay, it went off when the network cut off. Okay. Can you see my terminal now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Sorry for the network issues. All right. So I'll start by creating another directory for Terraform. Okay.
Please zoom a little
So,
bit. Zoom little bit. Zoom.
okay. Okay. Is it okay?
Zoom it, zoom it.
Increase
Control
it.
and plus button. Control,
yes.
then
Yes,
press
yes.
plus button.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Is it
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I hope it's clear enough. Okay, I hope you can still see my terminal.
Yes, we can see your terminal.
Okay, thank you. So let me proceed. I'll just create a file for Terraform. And this is main.tf. Okay. All right, so let me add this. I hope you can manage with this. All right, so we start by getting our Terraform providers configuration, which is very key. And it gives us a sense of stability because of versioning. So I'll be making use of the Terraform registry for documentation. Okay. I hope you can see my screen. So
Yes,
I'm on
yes.
the Terraform page. So let me take it all over. So let's assume I'm taking it from the beginning, going into the Terraform documentation from the beginning, just to show how to navigate it. So I'm here now. I'll browse the provider. So I'm working on AWS provisioning today. So that's why I selected AWS. So I'll go to documentation. So from documentation, I can start selecting the various resources I need to build up my Terraform main.tf file. So here I'm on the provider side. So I'll be taking this version. Let me go with version 5. So on version 5, I'll go into the provider version documentation. So here we have Terraform telling us the required providers, which is AWS. So what I need here to start my file is this. I'll copy that and then go to my code, so I have this here now. Okay. So the next thing I need to do is to specify AWS as a provider. So let me go back to that page. And there's something I need to let you know about this. When you specify this, especially the version, it keeps your work safe, and it makes it less prone to errors, because if you don't specify this, Terraform automatically may just each time take you to the latest version, which sometimes can cause issues, and then you may troubleshoot, spending too much time not knowing on time where the problem is coming from. So it is better to specify the version, and it will create uniformity across board, even for those other contributors. They will know that they have to work with this particular version. If not, it may cause problems sometimes. So let me go back to the page to get AWS, which is a provider. So I'll select this AWS provider. And this is all right. So here I'll copy this. This is what I need here. And it's enough for me. Control C. So I am not working with this region. Here you specify the region you are provisioning your resources into. And if you don't take note of the region where you are currently operating on, it may cause errors for you. So currently, let me go to my console, and you'll see on my console that I'm on the Stockholm region, which is Europe. So let me do the drop down and get the regional code for Stockholm. Okay. Let me find a way to hide this Zoom video. Is disturbing me. Let's see if I can bring it down. Okay.
Put it on the top. It will hide it.
Yeah, that video was disturbing. Okay, let me just manage with this. All right, I'm trying to navigate to Stockholm. I want to pick it up. Okay, is EU not one? Yeah, sorry for the network back and forth. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm taking EU North 1. Okay. So with this, I can quickly check and I can quickly do Terraform init and do some checks. So, but before now, if I run this, there will be an error, and that's because I have not done the AWS configure, because this is a new Terraform directory. So I need to do the configure. Okay. So let me fetch this was done yesterday. So you can access the video for yesterday and see this. So let me fetch my access key here. I generated this key today, so it should still be valid. And this is my secret access key. Okay. So my region now is EU, not 1. And this is JSON. All right. So with this, let me run Terraform init. And I hope you can see my screen. So while this is going on, let me show you the document I'm presenting today. So this is the document for today's presentation. And so the creation of our provider block is what I'm still on.
Increase
I just want
size
to
of
do
the
something.
document.
Yeah.
Hello.
It takes a little while, coupled with the network issues. Sorry about that. So with you having specified your provider's block, you can go ahead to run Terraform init. It doesn't have to be after you have specified every single resource after this stage. So this will continue the Terraform init, and with the information of the version you have provided, it will install the plugins, the provider's plugins of that particular version that you specified. Let me quickly see if I have any running instance. Okay, I have one running. Stop this.
Close the browsers tab which are not required. You are having lots of
Yeah,
browsers
sorry.
tab. Yeah, you have to close this, so you will get some speed and and the application,
Okay.
the Windows, you are
So
having lots of things open. So close everything, which is not required, close everything.
okay. Okay, and close this. Only this one is up. Okay, let me proceed. So with this, let me go to my file and quickly show you something, although it may not be necessary, but it's just one of the checks in case you want to know. So if I am here and I have my code not being well arranged, Let me see. You see the way the code is. So with this, if I do Terraform FMT, and then check again. Oh. You see the way it arranged my code back for me. So that's another thing, another command on Terraform, in case you want to know. So I can also do Terraform validate, but I think I should leave that aside and quickly proceed because of time. So let me move to the second part of the main.tf file, which is the resource block. So for the resource block, I'll need a VPC, which is the first thing I should provision after the provider's block. So let me go to this is really disturbing me. I can't see the hide video. Good. Okay. So now I'll quickly proceed to my VPC. All right. And on the VPC, I'll scroll down. This is the resources. There's AWS VPC. Let me select this. So for the VPC, I have the basic usage. Okay, which is this. So here you focus on the resource and not the data, because that may cause you some complications. And then you may want to go to the argument reference to see if there is any resource you may need. Most of them are optional anyway. So let me go down and see if there's any required one hidden down there. None. So I'll go with what I have up there. Let me go with this, the one that has the default tenants. Okay, let me quickly move to my blog. Okay, I'll name this Nginx VPC. Application VPC. Then I can call here Nginx VPC. Okay. So let me move to the next thing. You know, a VPC is required, and this is a custom VPC that we need for our incoming EC2 instance. So let me go back and go for the subnets, just like, you know, for a proper structure of a custom VPC, the resources that are in it, I believe you know them. So here is the subnet first. But before now, let me quickly go for my internet gateway first. Okay, AWS Internet Gateway. So let me go with this. And then you can see from this step, after the VPC here, which I have provisioned, okay, the next thing here is the Internet Gateway. And that's what I want to do now. Okay, let me quickly grab it.
Sorry, you are going to data source, not data source.
No, yeah, not data source, resource. AWS Internet Gateway, sorry. So the data source should be mindful of that because it may cause complications. So this is what I need. So I'll grab this. Okay. So let me name this. So this should just be Nginx Gateway. And we need to take note of something. What I have here is AWS VPC, then application VPC. It's very important to take note so we don't run into issues. So here I have AWS VPC. Here I'll place this and I'm good to go here. So let's see the next step. The next step you have here. Now you see this is optional. It's optional, but if you like to put it, well, it's fine. But it's optional. So I'll take the next one, which is the resource. For the subnet. So now let's go to the Terraform documentation and grab subnet. AWS subnet. That's my selection. Well, on AWS, it is different from what you have, what is obtainable on Azure, where you can have a single file, a very long file, provisioning everything. Here, you have to make your selections, especially when you want to make up a custom VPC. So here I have this resource. This does it for me. So I'll just take this. Let me copy that. And then I come here into my. And one thing you should know about this line is that it is the way you have to tie your VPC to your gateway. That's why you're having this line, having it as your ID. So when you want to tie one resource to another in a VPC, you use your ID. Okay. So here I have the subnet. Let me call it the application subnet. And here, this is main. Remember, I have to put application VPC. See that? It's helping with that. So this is the CIDR block for this subnet. So let me rename it here in Unix subnet. And mind you, I'll be creating only this subnet as the public subnet, since I don't have much to do with the private subnet because of time. So this is what is obtainable here. Okay, so let me see the next step that we are going to. So now we are going to provision our routes table, because when you have your gateway attached to your VPC, you need your route table for your subnets, which will direct traffic within the VPC or towards the gateway to the internet. So let's go grab this one on the Terraform documentation site. So I'll call this the routes table. Okay, I have it here under resource. Can you see resource? AWS route table. Here is a basic example. And as you can see, you have the VPC ID in it, because that's the way you can tie it to your VPC. So I don't really need what is there, but I'll come for the tag name. What is after it is not needed, but I'll come for the tag name. So I'll place this here and just do some editing. Okay, let me grab the tag name at once. Correct that. The tag, sorry. So I'll call it the application route table. So I'll come down here. For the tag, I'll give it Nginx route table. Okay, and I have to edit this, which is why you are seeing the error. Okay. It will be this. So that settles it. And as you can see, the CIDR block for the route table is that of the public subnet, which I will be provisioning after a while. So now I'll be going for the association, because we have to tie our route table to our subnet. So Permit me to check, please. I've made provision for the, okay, subnet is there. All right. So this is for the application subnets. All right. And then the application route table. Okay. So that settles it. Let's quickly go for the next resource. So you see on the next step, which is step 3, we'll go for our security group, which is very vital for this provisioning, because we have to gain access to the EC2. Okay. List. I'm not going for list. This is under VPC, and can see the AWS security group. So I'm grabbing that. I see with a lot of warnings. You can always read through the warnings and the notes, because the business of data protection is not a funny business. So I'll grab this. So here I have the ingress rule, and also I don't need some here. So like for the IPv6, I don't need it, but I need that of the IPv4 ingress rule. And some that are down there, I'll come and pick them too. So I'll be making some changes on it. That's the VPC
Can I ask
ID.
one thing?
Okay, sir. Go ahead.
So there is a code in your Word file.
That is what?
There is a code. The code in your Word file,
Excuse me,
there is
sir.
a Terraform code. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. There is what?
Okay, so I'm saying there is a Word file and you are having a code, the Terraform code. Okay, go to the Word file. Go to the Word file.
The Word file, this one?
Yeah, this one.
Yes.
Open this.
Yes.
Just copy this code. If this code is related to your demo, just copy this code in the VS Code and then you can explain, because what you are doing, you are going to the registry and you are trying to fetch the code. So I think everyone knows about that. Like if you want to search about the code, we can go and we can search. So don't do that. Just copy this code there in the VS Code and you can explain this code. Okay.
Okay. All right, let me grab it from here. So let me explain the code here before I take it in. So here, this resource is AWS security group. All right, that's what we are creating now. And then this is the ingress rule, just like you have your inbound rule when you are on the console. So, and then in most cases, you want to allow port 22 to be open for SSHing, and also port 80 for network traffic. So that's exactly what's happening here. And if you can see, the CIDR block for this is open to the internet, because you have to allow incoming SSHing from the internet. Same thing for the traffic. It's open for the internet. So this is the outbound rule. The outbound rule here is saying any port can send messages out, and it can be with any protocol That's why you have this -1 for protocol here. Any protocol, ICMP, HTTP, TCP, anyone. So that's why you have the -1 here. And the next thing here is the key pair. So just let me go with this security group first. And then I'll come back to grab the other one. So let me edit this here. So here for the security group, I'll rename it application SG. Okay. Let me name this one Nginx. SG. And this will be application VPC. That's what we are using to tie the VPC to the security group. And here we have the protocols. Okay. They are all stated. So here, this is for HTTP traffic. This is the outbound rule. So the next thing is to go for the key, the SSH key. So, and that's the resource I'm providing here. Because if you don't provide the SSH key, it will error out because there will be nothing you tie to the EC2, and there's no way you can gain access into it if you don't set to this. So I'll just call this the application key. All right. Okay. So this is the file. This is the route I've provided for the key. All right. So let me name it Nginx key. So it doesn't conflict with whatever I may be having inside before.
Sorry, I have a question.
Okay.
Can I
Go ahead.
Now, on your local system, do you have an nginx key.pub, a public key named nginx key?
A what?
Do you have a public key named nginx key.pub on your system under your .ssh?
Do I have what? Sorry, please. The network was breaking.
Do you have a public key named nginx key.pub under your .ssh on your locals? Then change it back to what you have on your system. If not, it's going to give you a problem.
No, there is not. That's the reason I had to name it this, because it's not existing. The one I had before is existing, so I'm avoiding a conflict.
No, this is just using to log in. Your key is just to log in for whatever you are creating. Because basically you are when you are doing manual.
Now the name I removed before, I had it before. So if it's going to the same location with the same name, it will cause a conflict. So that's why I gave it another name. Nginx wasn't existing.
Sorry, hold on. Let me just see something. Basically, if you have an SSH key saved on your system, you can always log in and create. You remember before when we were copying from another console, we SSH to our system and we create multiple EC2 instances. This is your key. So whatever key you have on your system, because obviously you use keygen to create your key. So whatever private key you have on your system does not affect what you are creating. If you change this thing now, you don't have that key, you will have connection, it will not go. So this is key. This key just for you to connect to your system. So you must use, you notice you're putting tilde frontline.ssh that key pip. This is what is going to use to SSH into your system to create the resource you are creating. So you don't change this one. This is the key you have that you're going to use to connect to your server. So if you change it to a new key now, there's no way you will log in.
Okay,
But you can
now
still,
I
you
think
can still write down. You get it, what I'm saying now.
oh, okay,
So
I think I get what you're saying now.
So that you don't end up going and
I get what
having
you're saying now.
problems
That was
later.
the key I generated before. So
Yes.
what I can do is to generate another key anyway. But let me
You
still
don't need
maintain
to.
this one just to save time.
Okay,
You are
no
correct.
problem.
Yeah, you are
No
correct.
problem.
Nice observation, Greg.
No problem.
Okay, just let me pick it back. So it's the same key to serve the same purpose, is already existing. So I generated it before. I'll just stick to it. Okay. Thank you, Greg. Is it clear now?
My brother, you're welcome.
Okay, so I'll move to provisioning my VPC. So all the resources I need for my VPC are here. The AMI, you can always go to the AWS console to check the available AMI so it doesn't error out. The AMI of the particular region which you set your console to. Because sometimes there might be different AMI for other regions. So I will just grab this and then do some editing over there. So I'll call this application server. This will be application subnet. And then this VPC. This will be application SG. So here will be, let me see the name I have for my key deployer. Okay, let me just maintain that, or let me maintain uniformity. Application key. So I have to change this to application key also. Okay. So I'll be grabbing the last thing, which is the output. Okay, I think I already have that on it. I copied everything together. So here is the output. And the value of this output is to give me my public IP address, which I'll need for checks. Application server. Public IP. Okay. So with all of this, I'm good to go to provision the EC2. All of this will just, the other steps here from step 5 will be to SSH into the EC2. And then so let me do, okay, let me save first. Control S is enough, yeah. Then let me do Terraform in it. Oh, because of all the changes I've made. Am I still audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Network is a bit slow. So this is just a straight main.tf file containing only 3 components, the 3 blocks, providers block, the resource block, and the output block. So we are here to go into
you have not saved your main TF file. Oh. It's still
yeah, I
showing
saved it. I use Control S because you know I've really enlarged the fonts, so I'm not having access to this one here, which I can use.
Because it's still showing white dots.
Okay, I can go from here. Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, safe. Okay. Nice, go now.
It's taking too much time. Okay, now we have the Terraform .log.htcl file. It's going gradually. And we have the .terraform folder.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
What's going on? I mean, we are waiting for someone or something.
No, the Terraform init command is on, but the network is slow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you just scroll up again, because I'm not seeing the init. No, from your terminal, from the sidebar scroll.
You're not saying what?
No, the sidebar scroll, the command you typed. Down by your head, just to see the content.
Okay, you want to see the terminal?
Yeah, to see where you typed the init. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Sorry.
Have you seen it now?
But there's another one down here again.
Have you seen it?
I've seen
Command
it,
is
but
not running actually. Where
not
is
running.
running?
There's another one down here again. If you are going to retype it again.
Yeah. Where is running?
That's why I told you. That's why I told you to scroll down.
Yeah, Greg is right.
Whoa.
My brother, take your time. No shake at all.
Okay.
Normal.
Okay.
Where is your
Sorry, my
file?
brother.
Where is your file? I mean, what is your location? Are you in correct? Are you in correct path? Are you in correct folder?
Yeah.
Okay. For reference to understand this.
Okay, that is line 44.
Cleared in the root.
All right.
Root folder. Okay.
So let me go to line 44. Okay, let me see. This is for the application RC gateway. So let me look for the gateway. Let's see what I have there. It is meant to be application gateway GW. Did you get that? So this is meant to be GW.
And not RT.
They are not RT.
Check line number 40. Bro, check line number 40. VPC ID is aws_vpc.example. See your code.
Yes, you should change that one. So your application.
Okay, there's another one.
Yes.
There's another one.
Line number
Okay.
40.
Okay.
Check line
40,
number 40.
yeah, example.
Check line number 40. Yeah, example. Remove this.
Yeah.
Because of
So
this,
this
it
would
is
be
not getting.
application
Remove this.
RT.
RT, yeah.
Correct.
Is it RT? Go and confirm. On.
This is for VPC. Oh,
okay,
sorry,
yeah,
it's for
yeah,
VPC.
you're right.
No, it's VPC ID, so it will be for VPC.
Yeah,
do you get?
Yeah, I get you.
Okay, so we'll take that again.
But then just close your save before you continue. Save your main.tf. You made some changes. Save.
Yeah, I did Control S, but let me be sure with this.
Sometimes it might not. Once the light dot goes off, then you are sure it has been saved.
Yeah. Okay.
You should have initiated first now.
Wow. VPC ID, line 32. Well, these are just corrections anyway.
Yeah.
So let me check that, line 32. Okay, this is line 32. There's meant to be .id because it's a VPC ID.
Here underscore, yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So save there again, then maybe.
Okay, we'll move again. So this would be another Terraform plan command. Line 32. 25 attributes. Excuse me. Let me see.
You do it again now. Clear your screen because it's like it had gone, but the way your screen is, everything is conflicted.
It could be the previous errors.
No, sorry.
It is all done. Just run Terraform apply. Don't do changes. It is working. See, in the last there is a note. You didn't use all this. You have to run Terraform apply.
Okay. Route table, application RT, line 39. Okay, let me quickly check. Stated line 39. Okay. Application subnets. Then the route table. Application route. Let me see something on the route table, please. Okay. I think I skipped the place for route table. Can you see that? The route table is not there. So let me make reference to this. I must have skipped the route table. So after the subnet was the route table. After the public coming. Custom subnets, then the route table before the association. There's the gateway. The route table association is not, the route table, it wasn't created.
There's no route table.
There's no route table, yes. So I'll just take this and update it. Okay, it's the route table. I'll just say application route table.
Your VPC name as well.
Yeah.
Application VPC.
Application VPC.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Then your
Okay.
gateway.
And the gateway.
What's the name of your
application gateway? It's application gateway.
Okay.
So that
Sorry,
searches it.
is it IG? Did you put as internet gateway or just gateway? Sorry, there's still a mistake there. Your gateway.
Yes,
ID.
because it's showing.
You shouldn't put it. You have your application gateway as your resource under AWS Internet Gateway, but on your gateway ID now you're having application -IGW. I don't think that I should be there. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, very good. It's meant to be gate. No, this is for route table. So this should be RT. And this will be AWS routes underscore table. So the white color is just
Can you please go and confirm on that resource you have copied on Word? Just look at that because that one is that's a MTF you have run that run. So just check and confirm this thing and just for the gateway.
That one is okay.
Okay.
Just let me open the terminal here. Okay. Manage resource AWS application subnet has not been declared. Let me quickly check the application subnet also. Okay, the subnet wasn't declared too. Okay. Now also need to, let me check. Okay. So I'm good to go. Configuration for AWS route table, not refer to itself. Permits me to say something like 45. Okay.
Expand the terminal. Expand the terminal.
I think is that part of that gateway under this thing. It should be gateway.
Refer
Not
to
route
line
table.
45.
Yeah.
It's line 45.
It should be application hyphen gateway and not route table you put.
So that one is the AWS resource own convention. Let me check what we have on line 45.
45.
Yeah. Gateway
Now go and
ID.
confirm what you have before on the Word document you have. That one has run before.
Okay.
So based on that one, you know how to.
This is for route table.
You see, it should be gateway.
It should be gateway ID. That is AWS Internet Gateway. Then this. Where's that line 45? Gateway ID.
Yes, yes.
Should be GW. I use GW.
Yes. Yes, GW. Then you're going to still change that.
So it's GW.
Place of AW. Then it's not AWS underscore route table though. I think it's AWS underscore gateway or whatever, something like that.
Let me confirm that.
Confirm again, please.
So
AWS
application. This is it. Application hyphen GW.
Which you have done. Then AWS underscore internet.gateway should not be application underscore route. AWS underscore internet gateway. You're going to leave that one, please. That there too as well.
That's yeah. That was the source of the error.
Yeah,
so I'm taking this out. Yeah, so we're good.
We want to make us documentation masters, well. I notice you like using documentation. It's good, at least. I'm learning now.
That's the way to go. You know, it makes it easier, man.
Yeah, in the long run.
Okay. So let me take this again.
Thank you. Something.
Okay, so here we come. We're good to go. So here is the public IP output that we needed. So it's just all about being a typist, like Pravin sir rightly said. You have to do a lot of typing and correction and all of that. So that's why we have the agentic AI. I hope you have learned it, Greg.
You know, say me, I don't like Wahala for my life.
All right, man. So let me just go to the terminal and okay, let me quickly copy a path for SSHing. Okay, I'll need this part. I'll need it from here. So let me just quickly grab something. Excuse me. All right, I'm here on my console. So as you can see, I deleted this one before. So let me refresh and get the new state of what is here. So the one that was being terminated was this. So this is the new one that has been provisioned. This is the new one that has been provisioned. So you can see that. So let me connect to this instance. I'll just copy this. I'll go back to my terminal. Instead of typing again. So permit me to do some modification here. I have that part on my file here. Let me grab it from here so we can move fast. Okay, here it is. Control C. Control U. Just trying to be sure there's no space. All right. Yeah. So we got that. Okay. So all we want to do is to just update and install in Unix. So let me just use the whole space for the terminal now. So I can move first.
Yes, you can close your main TF now.
Yeah. So I'll have enough space. Okay, we'll go to the next one, which is to install in Unix. Sorry. It's a mistake there. Mistakenly hit that. So
Nginx page is visible.
yeah, so we'll go and test that. So let's start it on let me grab the public IP. This is a public IPv4 address.
It's working.
You have seen it before me, sir?
Yeah, it's working. It's working. I send you
Wow.
the screenshot in chat also.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Well done, excellent job.
For being my audience. Thank you, sir.
Bravo, bravo. Well done.
Yeah,
Well done.
thanks. So let me call on Greg OG before he calls on me. That's the questionnaire.
I don't have
So
any
Greg OG, I'm
question
here
for
for you.
you. Okay. Just a very simple one. There was something you said yesterday.
Okay.
As regards, you said something about when you correct the main.tf file,
Yes.
that if you want it to take effect, whether you run Terraform init first, or if you run Terraform plan, it does init and plan. I was not too clear because you notice I was asking you, why were you not running Terraform init? Why run plan? So can you just please explanation on that again? That's just where I'm a little bit confused.
Okay, that kind of changes, especially on your credentials, when you are connecting your resource to communicate with the console. So other minor changes on the main.tf file also, just to make sure you're on the safe side. When you do those changes, it's fine, you just save. You save and then you continue. But mainly, when you need it mainly is when you are doing changes on your resource credential, the credential of whatever you are using to communicate to the cloud provider console. it is necessary. So it will boot up with it and pick it up.
Okay, because it will be storing the former information. So you have to like refresh it and all that. Okay, I
yes,
think I get you
yes.
now.
Because we experienced it yesterday while I was presenting.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you
while
for
I
the
was
clarification
presenting,
because I even asked. I'm hearing.
Okay, I'm listening.
No, you were trying to say, I think I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. So
Yeah, I said
yesterday.
I said while I was presenting yesterday, and then during the demo, I generated another credential. Okay, so the credential for tenant, for app ID, for secret, which is a password, and all of that. So that was different from what I initially generated that I saved in my local machine environment. Okay, so it has changed. So when the new one came, I needed to update, and then I did init for it to pick it up again. So I wouldn't have that access problem from my resource to the console.
Then also another thing, I could not just comment that yesterday because I was logging in from YouTube. But I think another thing most times is that when you see, because normally we're working with AWS, we're working with Azure. So sometimes we have to begin to use different CLI. So I think the best thing is that when you're in your terminal, when you type AZ logout, it takes you off that instance. So if you do another new one, it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, your presentation.
Yeah, exactly. When you run another one, that is if it was on Azure and you did your AZ Active Directly, your principal, service principal, when you run it again, another one is generated. Okay, and you need the new one to communicate with the console. That is, if it has changed. Okay. So provided it's the same, then it's fine. But if it has changed, you have to update it on your environment. And I hope you can navigate through that. Once you come here, just type from here, edit system variable, system environments, all of that, and then you go and paste it on your path.
Windows.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem. But I think there's a way but I think maybe we'll still look at that. So I was not thrown in that. Basically,
yes, there's a way you can send it from your terminal. Bupendra, he did it yesterday. There was that code he ran. So I copied the code, I saved it somewhere. So instead of going manually, you can just run that code from your terminal and then it takes it. Okay. And another thing again you can do is just to be sure, he ran another code yesterday, and that is this code, your env, and then you just grep your ARM. Your ARM.
ARM.
Yeah. So with this, it will show you from your terminal if everything is okay or not. So you can compare what you have now and what you have before. So if they are what you had before, so if they are the same, you are good to go. But if not, you need to change it again.
So please just help us paste these codes in the community because I couldn't ask you that yesterday because I was on YouTube and all that. So
okay, no problem.
So that we'll have that.
Okay, guys. So can we move ahead? Assignment number 3.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ardav. Thank you. Great
job.
job.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So please stop sharing and let us know who is there. Sam is there, I think. Yes, from group 2. Hello, Sam.
Let me stop sharing, please.
Yeah, please stop sharing.
Okay, thank you. Oh, sorry. Maybe you can just log me out. I can't find my Zoom here, so I'll rejoin again. Are you there, sir?
No. Yeah, but if we are logging you off, you will not able to join again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Click on the arrow in the right side. Click on the down arrow. If you will click there, your Zoom icon will be there.
Sorry, my system is hanging.
Okay. Yes. Sam, you can try to share your screen if you can do that.
Okay.
Yep.
I cannot. Oh. I'll find it.
Okay, you can
3.0 Sam system.
You may log me out, sir, so I don't delay the next presenter.
No, the Sam already shared the screen.
Oh, it's visible now.
Yeah, it's visible. We can see
Okay,
your demo.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Samgeso Dube. I'll be presenting Week 10 Assignment 3. So the project overview of what we are going to be doing, we are going to deploy a React application on Azure using Terraform. So here, these are the contents of what we are going to walk through. I've created a few slides on what we are going to walk through on this project. So the project overview is deploying a React application using Terraform. So what we are going to do, we are going to provision the infrastructure on Microsoft Azure virtual machine. We are going to be using infrastructure as a code tool, Terraform. What this is going to do, it is going to automate the deployment process, and this ensures consistency and repeatability. Right. I'll first start by the manual deployment. Right. When you are starting in cloud computing, when we are beginning in cloud computing, normally it is easy to understand cloud when you do when you provision your infrastructure manually, right? Let's say you are starting out, you go into your AWS, you register, and then you want to provision an EC2 instance. It is actually easy for you to understand when you are doing manual deployment. Why? Because it has got the visual interface where you can actually go into your GUI, and then you can go and launch your EC2. You can actually see the steps to follow. And then at the end of the day, you are able to create your EC2 instance, right? This is actually good, but for small project. Why am I saying this? Let's remember when we're doing week 6 and week 8, we were asked to deploy a 3-tier architecture on AWS and also do the same thing on Microsoft Azure, right? What we did, we had to go into the AWS console, we had to create the VPC. After creating the VPC, you had to create the internet gateway. You attach the internet gateway into the VPC. You create the subnets. You create a route table. So all these steps are time consuming. Imagine if you have to do 2 or 3, if you have to do one VPC and it takes you hours to provision. At the end of the day, you find that maybe what you would have done, you try to run the application is not even working. You get a 504 error. You won't even know where you missed a step. This means that manual deployments are prone to human error. And then you need to go back again and check where you went wrong. This is incurring more and more time again. So when you create your VPC, you can create 1, you can create 2, but it becomes difficult for you to create 5 of the same VPCs. It becomes difficult to replicate, right? So manual deployments are not scalable for large systems, which takes us to infrastructure as a code. What is infrastructure as a code? Infrastructure as a code is using code instead of manually processes, right? What do I mean by this? This is a way how you're going to provision your infrastructure using code. What you simply do is you define your infrastructure in a configuration file. What will be there? You define what you want your infrastructure to be, and then at the end of the day, what you are going to do, you are going to automate the provisioning and the deployment using that same configuration file. What are the benefits of infrastructure as a code? It is consistent across environment. With this same configuration file, you can get to deploy so many environments using the same configuration file, which is going to give you the same result at the end of the day, right? The other thing is this, by doing this, you get faster deployments. At the same time, you can actually do version control using Git. And this same configuration file, you can use it over and over again. So when you are using infrastructure as a code, there are certain tools that are in the market that you can use. For instance, there are some tools that are vendor specific. What do I mean by that? There's a tool which is within AWS, which is a CloudFormation. This tool works only with the AWS services only. It cannot work on Microsoft Azure. It cannot work on GCP. At the same time, we've got Azure ARM templates. They do the same thing. They only work on Microsoft Azure. Same applies to GCP. And then there are other tools, again, that work with any other platform, like any other cloud, or maybe Docker or something, right? We've got tools like Pulumi, and we've got tools like Terraform. So Pulumi uses programming language, and Terraform is an open source which works with multi-cloud. This is what we're going to be using for this project, right? So how does Terraform work? So Terraform uses providers to connect to cloud platforms. So the providers are the ones which are going to communicate with the cloud APIs to create resources. What you simply have is you write your Terraform configuration. Sorry. So you write your Terraform configuration. The provider will connect to the cloud APIs. And the cloud APIs are the ones which are going to, sorry, my screen, it's a bit, I cannot see it clearly. And then there are cloud APIs. And at the end of the day, your infrastructure is going to be provisioned. So now we want to talk about the Terraform configuration file. Terraform configuration file is written in HCL language. It has got a file that is called the main.tf. The .tf is an extension for Terraform, right? What this file consists of, it defines the infrastructure configurations. It describes the desired state of your infrastructure. Whatever that you want to deploy on your cloud platform, you define it in that Terraform file, right? So in the Terraform file, there are certain blocks that are there. You will find the first one, we have got the Terraform block, which defines required providers. We've got the provider block. This is the one which is going to help us to be able to connect, Terraform to be able to connect to the cloud platforms. And then we've got also the resource block. This resource block is going to define the infrastructure resources that you want to deploy in your infrastructure. And then we've got the variable block, where we are going to see the input values, and the output block, which displays the results. So there are Terraform, there's providers, and the resources. So what Terraform does is it manages the infrastructure. Providers are plugins that interact with cloud services. So they act as a translator between Terraform and AWS cloud providers. So we've got the resource blocks, which define infrastructure like the virtual machines, virtual networks, and IP addresses. Then there are Terraform commands. There are four Terraform commands that I've wrote here. The first one is Terraform init. What does it do? it initializes the project and downloads the providers. Then we've got Terraform plan. What Terraform plan will do is it is going to run a dry run of a preview of what it is going to deploy in your infrastructure. Then we've got Terraform apply. What does it do? It deploys the infrastructure. And then after that, when you are done, when you want then to remove all the resources that you would have created, you run Terraform destroy. So this is what we want to achieve today, the deployment plan. We want to create resource groups in Azure. We want to configure a virtual network in the subnet. We also want to set up network security groups. We want to create a public IP and network interface. And then all this, after creating, we are going to then deploy on a virtual machine. And then after that, we are then going to manually go into our EC2, our virtual machine, and then deploy our React application. So in conclusion, what Terraform is, Terraform simplifies the infrastructure deployment. It enables automation and consistency. It reduces human errors in manual configurations. It supports scalable and efficient cloud environments. And at the same time, it is an essential tool that is widely used in modern DevOps practices. Thank you. So now what I'm going to do, I'll walk you through a demo of deploying a React application on Microsoft Azure virtual machine. So I've created a draft here of all the walkthrough steps that we are going to be following. So I'm just going to open my Udemy. I'll be following Udemy as well. So the first thing that we are told to do, we are told to create a new Terraform project and give it a name, Terraform React Azure. Right, I'm gonna go into my dash. Right, right, I'm going to create this directory. Okay, I'm just going to say one because I created the same one before. And the next thing I'm going to cd into this directory. Right. So the next step that I'm going to do is to write a main.tf file so that we are going to provision the resources. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create the main.tf file. Right, after doing this, I am going to open my VS Code. Right, as you can see already, we have created this file. So the next thing that I'm going to do, so we are told that we need to go and look for the Azure provider block. So I'm just going to go to the Terraform registry, and then I'm going to scroll down to check for the Azure block. So I am copying it here. Right, let me close everything. This is too big now. I'm going to paste it here. Sorry. Right, I'm going to remove this line because I don't need it here. Right, I've copied the provider block. Now the next step is to copy the resource block for the resource group, and then we give it a name, React App Resource Group. Right, I'm going back into my Terraform registry and search for resource group underscore group. So under the resources, I can see the resource group. I'm just going to open it there. And then scroll down. Under the example usage, this is where we get our code. So I'm copying it from there. And then for our code to be clean, I'm just going to put some comments. Right. So as you can see, I've now copied the resource group. So what does this mean? Let me close here. Right. So as you can see here, we have got the resource. And then the next one that we've got is the resource type, right? Remember when we were talking about the resources, we said the resources could be anything that the resources that we have within our is either AWS or Azure, right? So here, this one is the resource. This one is the resource type. So here we've got the reference name. This reference name is going to give the name for this resource group inside this configuration file, right? So I want to change this. I don't want it to be example. I'm just going to change it and give it resource, make it resource group, all right? This is the name that is going to be referenced inside this configuration file. Then the name here, this is the name that we are going to be seeing when we then open our Azure portal. So I'm just going to change it and say it's the React App Resource Group, right? And then for the location, this is going to be in the West Europe. I don't want it to be there. I'm just going to choose East US, right? So we've done step 2. So the next thing that we are told to do, we're supposed to give it the React App RG. Sorry about that. Let me correct it quickly. Right. So the next thing that we are supposed to do, we are supposed to get the virtual network in the subnet. Same thing, we go to our registry and look for the virtual network. Underscore network, right? We know we get our virtual network under the networking section. So I'm just going to scroll down. And here is our virtual network resource. So when you are choosing now, you need to be careful because here you can see there is resources and then there is data sources. So we are still getting the virtual network here and the virtual network there. So be sure to choose under the resources. So I've clicked on it. Now I'm just and look for my virtual network. Right, I can see the block here. I'm just going to copy it as it is, and then I'll paste it in my Visual Studio Code. Right. So I'm just going to say create a virtual network. Right. Then I'm going to paste the resource here. Right. Then from here, we can actually see the resource. I've explained this one. This is the resource type, the virtual network. And then the name here, I'm just going to change this one and say virtual underscore network. Right. And then for the name of this one, I'm just going to change it again here and say React app vnet. Right. And then here now, when we are talking about the location, this, when we are creating our resources, when we are on our Azure, we first create the resource group, and then we put our resources inside the resource group. So in here, how does this one know where to go now? So we have to reference this resource group here in our under our networking, under our virtual network session. So how do we do that? Hello, can you still see my screen?
Yes,
your
we
screen
can
is
see.
visible.
Yes.
Okay. So for the location, we want this virtual network to be in the same location as this resource group that it is in. So what we are going to do, we are going to reference this resource group under the networking section. So how do we do that?
Sam, you're on mute.
Resource group. So here I'm just going to change and say resource group underscore group, and then location. So what it is going to do, it is going to know that this virtual network is supposed to be in this location, and then the name of the resource group that we want to put this virtual
Are you there? Hello?
I think she has a network problem.
Okay. You can turn off your camera. Okay, Sam.
Okay. Yeah, let me switch it up.
Please share your screen again. Yes, we can see you.
Oh, you can see my screen. Okay, thank you. Right, for the address space, we can just leave it as it is. And then the DNS, we can remove this for now. And then for the subnet block, we'll add it later. Right. So right now, this virtual network now knows that it has to go inside this resource group. How? Because we have referenced it. We have referenced the resource group inside our virtual network block. Right. So The next thing that we want to create is the subnet. So we still do the same thing. We go into our registry and look for the subnet. The subnets are under the networking section. So here it is, we look for resources and then we go into the subnet. Right, I'm just going to scroll down. From here, you can actually see how you can use this. So here it shows us that you need to have your resource group, and then you have your network, and then we are going to have then your subnet. So I'm going to copy this resource block here. Let me just copy that. Okay, so now I can then define that I want to create a subnet, right? So I'm just going to paste this here, right? So here I've explained this. Now I'm just going to give the reference name here and say this one is a subnet, right? I'm just going to say subnet. So here, whatever that, now as you can see, this VS Code is giving us, it is now directing us on how we can just use it to autocomplete everything, right? So what this is doing is what I've been explaining to say that this subnet now is referencing the resource group because it has to be inside a resource group. And also here for the virtual network, it has to be inside a virtual network. So it has auto-completed this for us through the extensions that we have installed. So here I'm just going to close this block here. So the next thing that we want to create is the network security group and allow port 22 and port 80. Right, I'm going to search for that. Right, so the network security group, we get it under the network section, under the resources. So I can see it here. So I'm going to copy this. And then I am going to scroll down and check for the network security group block. Right, I'm going to copy until, okay, I can copy all this. Then I'll paste it in my VS Code. And then for a clean, create a network security group, right? So I'm going to paste my code here. Let's try to hide this, maybe put it here. Okay, for this one, I'm just going to give it a name, network security and underscore group, right? And then the name that we're going to see in our Azure portal, I'm changing this one here. I'm going to say React App Network Security, right? This one is giving us a direction to just autocomplete. So as you can see, the location, it is going to be inside the resource group that we defined when we started the project. And then the resource group name, it is going to, is calling that same resource group, right? I want to check something, okay. right? Now for the security rule, remember it says the instruction says that we need to allow port 22 and port 80. So now we want to define the security rule. So for the name of this, the first one, I'm just going to say allow, let's start with SSH, allow SSH, right? So the priority now, we are giving it 100. What is the priority, right? So when you are using the security group rules, they follow a certain standard of numbers. So the lower the number, the higher the priority. So what do I mean by that? They start calculating from the lowest number going upwards. So here we are giving it a priority of 100. So which direction is this? Is the inbound. Any traffic that is coming inside of this, the traffic that is coming inside our network, right? We are going to allow it. We know SSH uses TCP, and then the source port range, we are just choosing any. We are saying asterisk for any source port range, right? What is the source port range? Right now, for instance, I'm using my laptop, and if I want to connect to my virtual machine on Azure, so my laptop here becomes the source port, because my laptop, when it now wants to communicate with Azure, with the VM on Azure, what it is going to do, it is going to, if I type in SSH and then I put the IP of my virtual machine, so this laptop here is going to open a certain port that is going to use to connect to my virtual machine, right? So my laptop here becomes the source port. So we don't care which what range is there. So we're saying any number that is there, as long it is going to land at the destination of port 22, which is our virtual machine. And then the source address prefix, we are leaving it as it is as well. And then we also need to add another rule here again, which is HTTP. So I'm just going to copy from this, and then I will paste it underneath, right? So I've already explained everything or pertaining this part. So I'm just going to say here, I'm now allowing HTTP. So here, as you can see, it has given us 1,000. It really doesn't matter. So any number, as long it is between 0 and 65,000, so it really doesn't matter. So for this one, I can use 200 or 150, any number. It doesn't really matter, right? The direction is inbound. It is going to allow it. And then the protocol, we know TCP. And for this one, it has already picked it up that this is HTTP, because they are following the protocols. They've got their certain numbers that they use. So for HTTP is port 80. So everything, we just leave it as it is there. And then the text, they just, we know how the text works. So I'm just going to remove them for now on this one, right? So let me go back to Udemy. Then the next thing that we are told to create is the IP address, right? So I'm going back into my documentation and look for public IP. So the public IP, we get it on the networking section. So we look under the resources section. So is our public IP. So I'm just gonna scroll down. So you can actually see how to reference this. This one, we need to put it inside the resource group. So I'm going to copy this block here and paste it on our VS Code editor. Right here, we're saying create in a public IP address. right? I'm going to paste the block here, right? I've already explained why I'm going to remove this example. So I'm just going to say public IP, right? For the name, the one that we are going to see on our portal, I'm going to say React App public IP. Right here, we now know how this works. So I'll just take it as it is. In the allocation method, we want this IP to be static, right? I'm just going to remove the text. So I've done that part. Now we go to creating the network interface. We do the same thing. We go to hello.
Sam, you need to add SKU also.
Sorry?
SKU.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you for that, Anjana.
Welcome.
So we also need to add the SKU here and keep it as standard. I'm just going to, right, so we're just going to use this one and keep it as standard, right? So the next one that we're going to create is the network interface. So I'm just gonna check it here, right under the networking section again, so we can see it from here. Then I'll scroll down. Then we can see it here at the bottom. So I'll copy this. And here, so I'll paste everything here, right? So I'm going to give it a name here and say network interface, right? The name that we're going to see when we're now checking on our portal, it's going to be React App Network Interface, right? And then here, I'm just going to take it as it is. And then for the IP address configuration here, right? So we know that our network interface, it has to have a private IP address. Where is it going to get this private IP address? So the name is going to be internal for this IP is the IP address. So it's going to be a private IP address, right? So normally when we create our EC2 instances or our VMs, they've got the private and the public IP. So this one is going to be the internal one, which is the private. It is going to be able to connect to other resources within our network, right? So it is going to get its IP from the subnet that we created up there, right? So it is going to be getting the private IP, right? So this IP is going to be getting it. It is going to the subnet is going to dynamically allocate this IP. So for this one, we need to reference the subnet that we created. So this IP is going to be dynamically allocated from the subnet that we created, right? So if it's like this, that means that if we attach this network interface into our, let's say we create a VM, it is only going to get a private IP. So here, if we want the VM that we are going to create to get the public IP as well, we need to also define it here, right? So it has already shown us. So what we need to do, we need then to reference the IP address that we created earlier. So I'm just going to take this one as it is. So as you can see, now this network interface, if we attach it into our VM, it is going to have the private, which is going to make it be able to communicate privately. And then this one is the one which is going to help it to communicate with external networks.
Hello.
Yes, Anjana.
Can you show them where did you get that argument from the registry?
Okay, yeah, thank you. All right, so where we get this public IP, we go into our, you can just go into the arguments reference of, remember here we were creating the network interface, right? So if you scroll down and go into the argument section, you can scroll down. This is where you can actually see the arguments. Let me scroll. This one. Here it is. So you can see it at the end, but it is within the argument references. So the next thing that we need to do, now we want to create the virtual machine. So I'm going to go into my registry again and search for virtual machine. Right, we know the virtual machine is under the compute section. So I'm going to scroll down and then the resources, scroll down, then there is virtual machine. Then I'll scroll down under the usage section. This one is storage. Okay, so we need to choose this one, which is at the bottom, right? So you copy that one as it is, and then here let's define. Okay. So I'm going to paste here. Now let's scroll it up a bit. Right. So here I will just say virtual machine, right? And then the name that we are going to see when we go into our portal, I want it to be a React, like that, VM, right? And already it is giving us, right? So here you can see this virtual machine is going to be inside this resource group that we defined, and then the resource group name, it has picked it up. And this virtual machine is going to be inside, it is going to get the network interface ID from the network interface that we just created. So that this means that it is going to be attached, the network interface is going to be attached to this virtual machine, and then it is going to get the public and the private IP addresses. Right now we need to define the size of our virtual machine. We were told to use the standard B1, but on my Azure portal, I didn't get that. I've got D2 SV3. So that is what I'm going to use for this demo. But if you've got standard B1, you can use that because it's actually cheaper. This one is actually expensive. So it's the one that I got from Azure, right? And then here we've got these two comments. The first one is saying, uncomment this line to delete the OS disk automatically when deleting this VM, right? I'm just going to uncomment it so that it's going to delete it. And then the next one is saying, uncomment this line to delete the data disk automatically when deleting. So I'm going to uncomment this one as well, so that when I'm now destroying the resources, everything gets deleted. Nothing is going to be left here. Right, on this storage image, we are just going to leave it as it is. Here you can see it is choosing a Linux, and it's a 2204 LTS, the latest version. And then we're seeing the OS disk. I'm not going to touch anything there. And then here on the OS profile, the computer name, I'm going to give it a React app virtual machine, right? Then for the username, I am going to give it React admin. This is what we are going to use when we are now logging in. And then for the password, I can leave it as it is, or I can change it. It's still fine. Let me just give it my own. Right. And then we are done on this one. So the next thing, we are going to create now the network security group and then associate it with the public IP. So I'm going to look for the NSG network underscore security. Right, it is under the resources section, and if you scroll down, sorry, let me, network security group association group. It has to be subnet network group association. Let me check. This is network security group association.
It's correct.
It's
Go
correct,
ahead.
yes. Thank you. So I'm going to scroll down. Network security group example. Yeah, it's this one.
Oh no, scroll down, scroll down.
Yeah, I can see that. Oh, yes, it's this one. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to paste it at the end here. So let's create network security group associations. Yeah. Then I'm going to paste here this that I got. Right. I'm going to accept. Right. So here now we are.
Did you
We
give
want
the
to
name
associate.
Network Security
Sorry.
Group Association? It's still
Sorry?
example. The Network Security Group Association, the logical name is still example.
Oh, yes. I have not yet, thank you. I have not yet changed it, right? So here I'm just gonna give it Network Security Group Association, right? It is going to be associated with the subnet ID, right? So here you see it is referencing our subnet, and then the Network Security Group ID, it is referencing the Network Security Group, and then the Network Security Group ID, right? So now, we have done all the steps that are needed So now the next thing that we need to do, we need to initialize this project, right? So I'm just going to open my terminal. I'm going to change and use git bash. And then from here, I need to check first this. So from here, I need to check first if I'm in the right directory, right? So it shows that I am in the right working directory, right? So from this working directory, I need to initialize Terraform, right? So I'm just going to run. How do I remove this thing? So I'm just going to run Terraform init. Right. So what this command is going to do, it is going to initialize the working directory. Now it is communicating with the back end. And then after that, it is going to initialize the provider plugins. So now it is initializing the back end. So for the purpose of this demo, I'd already done it because my network is slow. So I'm just going to open where I'd done it already. As you can see, all the commands are the ones that we did. Let me just open here so that you can see that. Let me do this. So all the steps that we did, we have them here. So the provider block, the resources that we created, as you can see, the way I have done it. So everything is here. So after I created all this, I then ran Terraform init, which we can actually see from here. Let me close here. Right. It's too big now. Right. So I ran the Terraform init command and it initialized the backend. And then after that, it initialized the provider plugins. And then we saw as a Terraform log file was created. And here you can see the log file, it is there. Inside there, you can actually see the versions that Terraform actually downloaded. As you can see, there it is, right? So which means that whenever we are going to use this main.tf, it is going to have this same version. So it was going to be consistent across, let's say maybe we are deploying it on different, maybe we are provisioning many cloud infrastructures, right? So the next thing after doing Terraform init, we want to validate to see whether our configuration syntax is okay, so that it won't give us an error after when we now run the dry run and then deploying our resources. So the command that we're going to do next is Terraform init.
Validate.
Oh, how do I cancel this? Can I cancel it? Yeah. Sorry about that. Let me. So the next one is Terraform validate. Check if everything, the syntax is correct. So as you can see, we are getting the success. That means our code is fine. So the next thing that we want to do, we are going to run Terraform plan. So what this is going to do, it is going to do a dry run of what is going to be deployed in our cloud infrastructure, right? So the next command is Terraform plan. Mm-hmm.
Sam, can you turn off your camera?
Is it on?
Yeah, it's on.
Is it? Okay. Thank you, Anjani.
Okay, now it's okay.
All right. Okay, so from here, we can actually see now Terraform has ran a dry run plan of what is going to be deployed when we run our Terraform apply. So here, as we can see, this is going to be created. The resources that are going to be created are the network interface is going to be created, and the ID, we are going to know it after we run Terraform apply. Naming includes the private and the public IP addresses. And here we can see the resource group name, the resource group, we have it, the name, we have it. And then the virtual machine ID, it is going to show after we have applied. And the IP configurations as well. So you can just go on and just read on this plan what the Terraform is going to deploy. So these are all the resources that it is going to deploy. So here you can see the dry run of everything. So this is actually our desired infrastructure, what we want to be deployed at the end of the day. So now the next thing that we want to do, we want to run Terraform apply. So let me clear the screen, and then I'm gonna run Terraform apply so that it can actually now deploy, what it has shown us. So now I am applying. Okay, so we have ran Terraform apply. So now here it is showing us what is going to be deployed. So as you can see, you can just read through to see what is going to be deployed. So at the bottom there, it wants us to approve. So I'm just gonna agree to that and type a yes to say, yeah, go on. So as you can see now, the resources are being created. So we can see the resource group is being created. As you can see from that line there, it is showing that the resource group has been completed. And then the virtual network creating, the public IP is creating, network security group is creating. So these are all the resources that we defined in our configuration file. So now this is automating everything. There is our Azure subnet still creating, completed there. The network security group creating. The network security group association is completed. So you can just read these logs of what is creating and what has been created.
Very, very wonderful, Sam. I think the one thing one really needs to learn is how to look for resources, because it gave me a lot of headache. I was trying to look for some resources, and then you have to scroll and read through a lot of those documentation. So knowing how to search for resources is actually a big deal. So it will
Yes,
lessen the amount of mistakes that one makes. So at some point, I even tried to do something else. I created another file, and then I went to ChatGPT with my current configuration, and then I asked it to analyze it and look at the logical names and see if those names are actually right. And if there are any corrections, it should make them and let me know where exactly it made those corrections. And then I pasted that back into my second file, and I was comparing both of them to see where I actually made some mistakes. So that was how I was able to go through some of these issues, looking for the right resources. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that helps a lot is to know which section you are supposed to look for. Like for instance, the virtual machine. If you know it's under the compute, you simply go and look under the compute section. And if you are looking for the virtual networks, you know it's under the networking section. That actually really helps a lot as well.
Exactly. All right, let's continue.
So as you can see now, it says apply complete, and resources that are added is 8, 0 changed, and 0 destroyed. So that means that we have successfully deployed our resources in Microsoft Azure using Terraform. So the next thing that we want to do right now is to connect into our virtual machine. Right now, we are no longer going to automate this. Now we want to do the manual deployment, right? So I'm going to go into my virtual machine, as you can see here. So I'm just gonna refresh this page. This is under the resource group page, right? As you can see, this is the resource group that we created. We gave it a name, React App RG. So if we open it, and then inside, we can see the resources that we created using Terraform. Remember, we created the React App network interface, the network security group, the public IP, the virtual machine, and the virtual network. So we can see all the resources we created. Right now, what we need to do, we need to log into our, we need now to log into our virtual machine through SSH. So I'm just gonna click on it. I'm gonna go to connect. I'll scroll down a bit. I'll zoom out so that I can see the. How do I take this thing out? Okay, my network is slow. All right. So from here, I'm going to click on. Did I click the right thing? Then scroll down. Okay. So I'm just gonna click here, and then I'm gonna go into my Git page. Let me clear this screen. Right. Now I'll paste this. Now I'm SSHing into my virtual machine. Right? This means that we can go through. So it will prompt me for a password. I'm gonna go back and check it here. Let me, how do I take this one down? Oh, this one is this one. All right, so I am putting in. Now I have successfully connected into my virtual machine. So I'm gonna clear my screen. Right now, I'll close my VS Code. I'll close all this. Right. So right now, I've successfully logged into my virtual machine. So the first thing that we need to do, we need to update the system and then install the dependencies, right? So I'm just going to do that now. Right, I'm gonna update. Update the system, and we also want to upgrade it. And then we say yes. So now we are updating our system. I'm just gonna get that. Right, it is done. So the next thing we need to confirm if the dependencies, no, we have updated the system. Now we need to install the dependencies, right? So we are going to install Node.js, npm, and git. And then after that, we need to verify. So I'm gonna run the command apt install Node.js, npm, git, and then we approve. The network is a bit slow. right? Now it's installed. Now we need to verify. As we can see, we have got the node version and the npm version. That means that the installation was successful, right? So step 7 says that we need to clone and build the React app. So I've already opened the README file. So we have done the first steps. So the next thing that we need to do, we need to install Nginx. So for the time's sake, I'm just going to copy the commands from here and paste. Now we are installing Nginx. So Nginx has been installed. Now we are going to start and enable Nginx. I'm just going to copy the commands here for time's sake. All right. So we're going to check the status of Nginx. Right. So Nginx is active and running. Right. So I can just run curl to check. Localhost. Right. So we can see that Nginx is up and running. So we can actually even check on our browser.
Hello,
just to confirm.
Hello.
Hello, Anjana.
Can you go to the browser and show them Nginx is running?
Yes.
Using
yes,
public
yes.
IP.
Yeah.
It's working. It's working.
Okay. So this is our I'm gonna put it on my Cognito, paste it here. Right. So Nginx is up and running. So we go back. So the next step that we need to do, we need to clone the Git repo. So I've copied the command, pasting it here. So we are cloning the Git repo and seeding into that repo. So as you can see, we are now inside the directory. So we can just do ls to check what is inside. So as you can see from here, let me use I'm just changing the terminal. Right, SSH. Right. right? So I don't even know how to remove this thing. Okay, so here I'm inside this React app directory. So now the ls, so let me go in. Right, we want to check what is inside. As you can see, we have got the files for the React application. So what we need to do, we need to go inside the source folder. So we are going to cd into the source folder, right? And then we list what is in there. So we can see the files that are there. So on our Udemy, on our repo, it says that we need to go into the source folder, and then after that, we need to edit the app.js, right? So now I'm going to nano into the app.js. Right. So we are going to scroll down. This is where we want to edit the file. So you check on the deployed file. Right, from, and then I'm going to put in my name. Right, and then I'm going to change the date as well. Right, day is 17/03/2026. Right, so once I've done that, I need to exit. Yes, then okay. Right, let me go back to my and try to check mouse wheel. Okay. .js. Okay, I'm in the wrong folder. Maybe let's see. Right, and then I need to get the JS. Right, I'm going to go up to see. Okay, it didn't work. Let me clear this. AWE. Right, let's use AI from here. JS. I can't see. Okay.
Samuel, check your closing strong tag. You've removed the coily brace.
Okay, thank you. All right. Yeah, everything looks okay now. Escape. And then rewrite it. Right. Let me check. So we can see now we have edited the React app. So the next step that we are supposed to do, we then need to install the dependencies and then after build the React app, right? So from here, I need to go back one step, right? So as you can see, I'll just ls. So you can see that we don't have the build folder here. So now the next thing we need to run npm install. Now this is going to install the dependencies. Now the dependencies have been installed. So the next thing that we need to do, we need to build this React application. My network is now. So the next command we want to build. So now we run npm run build. So now we are done. Then we ls to check. So now we can actually see the build folder is here. It's a bit dark. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do, we want to deploy the build files inside the Nginx web root, right? So the first thing that we need to do, we need to remove all the contents that are inside the Nginx web root, right? The command that you are using is rm command. So it is going to remove everything that is inside the web root. So I'm just going to run it like that. Then the next thing that we need to do, we need to copy the build files using the copy command. We copy everything and then we dump it in the web root. So I'm just going to copy and paste to save time. Right. So we have done that. So the next thing that we need to do, we need to set the proper permissions. So I'm gonna copy the permissions from here and then paste. Right, that one is done. The next thing that we need to do, we need to configure Nginx for React. So we're just going to copy this command as it is. And then we run it. Then after we have done this, we need then to check and restart our Nginx. So the next command that we need to do, first we need to run sudo Nginx -t to check if there is any syntax error, right? We can see and confirm that all of our configurations are okay. There is no syntax error. And the next one that we need to run is sudo systemctl restart Nginx.
You need to add S restart.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Thank you. Restart Nginx. Right. So that is done. So the next one we need to check, retrieve the IP. I've already retrieved that. We can then check on our browser. What I normally do first, I check within the EC2 lake, the local host. So we can actually confirm that it is there. Then go to our public IP, and then I'm just going to refresh from here. And then we have our React app deployed on our virtual machine. So that is so we have verified our app is live, and then we need to go back to our Udemy. So step 8 says that we need to open our browser and check the access. So we have confirmed that our Nginx, our React app is actually saving and is fully functional, right? The next step that we need to do, these were the services that are required. I've added them in my walkthrough Google document that we will share with you later. And then after that, we are done. And then if we want to destroy everything that we have done, we're just going to go back into our Terraform and then run Terraform destroy, and then that is going to destroy all the resources that we would have created. So I'm just going to do it now. This one is the one. So after we are done with everything, I'm just going to run Terraform destroy. So it is going to destroy all the resources that we have created. So as you can see from the logs now, it is actually deleting the resources. So you can see the network interface is going to be destroyed. Network security group, all these that are written destroyed now, these are going to be deleted. So you don't have the hassle to go back into the portal and deleting them one by one. So Terraform is going to do everything for us. Right. So from here, you can see the plan. It says that 0 to add, 0 to change, and 8 to destroy. So it is asking us here, do you really want to destroy all the resources? So it doesn't just delete. So it first asks you if you are really sure about what you want to do. So for me, yes, I want to delete. So just type in yes and then enter. So now it's destroying them. As you can see, it's saying destroying, virtual machine, destroying. So now it is deleting all the resources that we had created earlier on. And then we can see from here, it says destroy complete resources, 8 destroyed. At first, when we had ran the Terraform apply, it gave us 8 resources were created. Now, all of them have been destroyed. So the next thing, we have finished with our demo presentation. So thank you so much, guys, for giving me this opportunity to present. Thank you. This is it.
Thank you so much. It's a lengthy but very impressive. You have done excellent job. Well done. Well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
Any question? If you want anyone, please ask. There is no scope to ask any question. She explained very well. Okay, Sam, thank you so much for your best presentation, we can say. Very impressive.
Okay, thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, so okay, guys, thank you so much. We are good to go now. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye.
Good night. Bye bye.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.
everyone.
Bye.